wonderful fall afternoon in the state of Texas. The roof is open, and we've got football from NRG Stadium in Houston. They do it big here in Houston, and a second ago it was a Texas-sized welcome for their hometown guys. They're fired up and ready to go as they get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? Taking it about the 1. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. With these run-pass options, we often talk about a good quarterback and running back. Well, having a talented wide receiver helps also.
Yeah, even coming in third in the discussion, sometimes that means he really should be first, because all you want to do is get the ball in their hands and let them make the big plays downfield.
On 1st down, Woodard. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. There to make the tackle, Khalil Mack. Well, Charles, you think about this defense. This week in preparation, you couldn't hide the fact from them that they're facing a team that's lost 7 in a row. You just wonder if they prepared the same way they normally do.
Yeah, that's a great question, because normally that preparation goes into what you do well on defense. What is the best thing that you do going into a game? But in this case, you might want to take all the tendencies and throw them out the window. I would expect them to throw every trick play in the book right out of the gate in order to try and get something established and get things moving.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a 1st down.
This is a nice job of just taking what the defense is going to give you on 3rd down. You're not looking for a big play downfield. You just want to find something that can get you past the marker. They found it and were able to keep the drive moving.
Pretty solid run here on 1st down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the 1st quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there. First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does. And in practice, it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series of plays, sustain it. They've done that. The defense now on their heels a little.
That they are. And you know what else is happening now? They're gaining information. They're gaining knowledge about how the defense is planning on playing them. So not only are they being successful on this drive, they're filing things away for future drives in this game.
And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down. This defense for the Bears, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number, 6. Absolutely phenomenal.
The ball comes out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Can almost see inside his face mask there the look of relief. He coughed it up, but it goes out of bounds. They keep it.
Someone carrying around the lucky horseshoe, aren't they? If I were him, I'd go out and play the lottery after that one. A very fortunate man.
And they're operating in plus territory here. They're thinking points. Definitely don't want to lose the football at this juncture. They were probably hoping to get him a little bit closer for a shorter field goal, but he was able to get it done from deep.
Nice little tester for him to begin things, huh? I think he was open for a little bit more of a chip shot. Instead, they made him stretch it out a little bit, but he's got to feel great now that he put it through the pipes.
only for about 3 yards. Second down coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say just maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. A couple of extra defensive backs in the ball game here on 3rd and 6. Fields now to throw. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. And he will have the Bears first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit.
Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a 2nd down. A play fake, now Fields to throw. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. Jonathan Grenard. Give him the credit for the sack and a loss of 14 yards. So now following the sack, Fields and the Bears looking at 3rd down and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
That's a big gainer on that play, and from experience, I can tell you, that's where defensive backs will come into the huddle and say, guys, how about some pass rush? But you're going to say it nicely because those big guys up front, they don't like being criticized very much. Quarterbacks in this league, you know they'll pick you apart if you give them time like that to find receivers downfield.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Hands it off out of the gun. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle, and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Justin Reed, and the Texans are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect. How
about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for 3rd down. Watson now to throw. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. Back deep, Tariq Cohen. We'll call it a 42-yard punt, 3 on the return. And the Bears take over. At at the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
5-3, their record at the halfway point. And you have to imagine that there are folks saying, hey, if we do that again in the second half, we're 10-6 and we're a playoff team.
I do think, though, that they have a couple things working against them. And number one, the schedule, that's going to toughen up a bit because they've got some division games down the stretch, and those are always difficult. Number two, you know they've got to stay healthy. That's the key to getting to the playoffs and winning in the playoffs. But they've got a shot at it. This is a good football team.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. He took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. Complete to right. And to the 46 he goes and no further. So he is well short of the first down marker. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And did he put that on a dime? He did. Wow. Out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
We're certainly not going to see a better punt than that. Definitely taking a chance because if that thing clips the pylon, it comes out to the 20, but instead it goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. They'll run on first down. Woodard, nifty move. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
That first down run could not have turned out worse for a defense because when they came out on the field, their number one mission, keep them stacked up close to their goal line, and at worst, create great field position for their offense.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And this one caught by Max Williams. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Woodard. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. Watson.
Oh, into a sea of defenders and intercepted.
Picked up by Delano Hill. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements. And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
A first trip to the red zone for the Bears. They're looking at a 1st and goal from about the 9.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep.
Slipped one tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. 2nd down and goal. Fields. Open man, he finds Kmet. Touchdown, Chicago. Cole Kmet, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bears have taken the lead. Santos with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
2nd down and 8.
Now Watson. Flushed out right. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
On 1st down, Watson. It's caught left side by Cooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 47. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3 our score. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Watson's throw taken in there by Cooks.
And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
On 2nd and 11 now. Watson throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
On the return, it's Tariq Cohen.
And he returns this to the 22.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And still plenty of time remaining here in the half, more than a minute. And we'll see if they just want to protect that lead or try to add on to it.
Well, with as much time as is left on the clock, I would imagine it would be the latter. I think they're going to try and add on to it. So what they're going to tell the team is very simply, if you can get out of bounds after making a play downfield, terrific. If you can't, everyone hustle to the line of scrimmage, either run another play or clock it and start over again.
To throw again on 2nd down. Fields. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively. And now it brings up 3rd down. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields. They'll roll him out right. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that's caught inside the 35. Touchdown, Chicago! Allen Robinson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears will extend their lead. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and the lead is up to 8. Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
Eluding the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack. And on that one, the protection just broke down.
You've got to have that leverage, don't you? We always talk about low man wins in the running game for an offensive lineman versus a defensive lineman. It's essentially the same thing in pass protection. Get lower than that defensive lineman so that you can keep your balance and keep him away from your guy trying to throw the football.
These two clubs running through their final halftime adjustments. It's just about time to get back at it. And for the call of the second half, we go back out to Houston, H-Town, and Brandon Gaudin.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Hey, Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys are lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
His second catch, and this one not nearly as electrifying as his first. And it'll bring up third down now. Fields. Looking for right, and he finds him. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big connection on that one. 39 yards.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just tell receivers, find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback find you. And that's exactly what they did on that play. First with the pass through the air, nice chunk of yardage there, and then additional pickup with his legs after the catch.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That winds up being a 4-yard loss and leads to 4th down. Santos' kick is up and through, and that will extend their lead here to 17-6. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
Here's Watson. Over the middle to Brown. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Let's go, defense. Let's go.
Here's Watson. There's the stiff arm. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Out of the gun, Watson. This is caught by Williams. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. To throw is Watson. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And this is picked up by the Bears. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. That was all great until the final act. Able to scramble, get the first, but he couldn't hang on to the football.
And as a former defender, I can tell you that when a quarterback scrambles and picks up a first down on 3rd down, that's usually demoralizing for a defense. But when he coughs it up in doing so, elation results after that.
A new lease on life, so to speak.
No doubt about it.
Now a throw here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. So the completion good for 6 yards. And it's a 2nd down. Now it's Fields. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. It got his man complete. Touchdown, Chicago.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, this is a guy who runs with such balance and control. I mean, he went through that early contact just like he was driving over a speed bump. And he's able to continue his way downfield and wind up in the end zone.
Now after the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away.
Taken in at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
On 1st down, it's Watson. He's got it to Williams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
It's taken a while for this offense to get going. A little creaky at the start, but they're oiled up now. A nice throw there, and they're really putting together a good drive.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 36.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Watson. It's complete to Williams. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 20-yard line.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout. and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion.
Now the ball comes loose, and this is picked up by the Bears. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
The passing game continues to be their friend, even with a stable lead here in the fourth, Charles. They're going back to that well.
Yeah, with their overall philosophy, you know that they trust their quarterback. He's been able to throw it well. They continue to throw these safe passes. Who can blame them?
And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down fourth quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
They'll say no gain on the play, so it was looking good, but nothing there, and now it's third down in inches. The offense on third down tonight, they've hit 4 of 7. They're looking at third and a few inches.
Fields tapping it forward, jet sweep.
And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27.
Well, they tried to catch him by surprise, I think, there with that little pop pass on third down, but no luck.
You're right about no luck, but I did like the idea. I like the thought process. Make an unconventional call on third down sometimes. It can pop big. In this case, it didn't.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said. And now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
To be frank, you really have to feel for them. This is appearing to not be their week yet again. So another loss in the cards as they trail big in quarter number 4.
And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up.
And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Eddie Jackson picks it.
And the Bears are going to have it here just past the 25.
I'm not sure, Brandon, we've seen a sloppier played game this year for a team on offense. Turn it over 4 times and expect to win? No chance whatsoever. And look, I have no idea what the ratio is about turning over 4 times and how that correlates to winning or losing, but I'll guarantee you, it's not very good.
A good gain on first has him set up with second and just a couple of inches now from the 29. They'll keep it on the ground. Galloway, and he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So the Bears with the football here as we welcome you back. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And a 6-yard gain gets them right around the 43. Good gain there on first down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. And they will take a knee here. And they take a knee. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for Chicago, the win will help them keep pace in the playoff race as they move to 6-3 on the year. And they will head home next week to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Houston, changes could be in the air as they fall to 0-8 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville.